All right, guys, so I want to tell you about one of my favorite features for the ROG phone, and that's air triggers. Now, basically, we've put sensors on all the sides of the device, and you can actually squeeze it and have some really cool actions happen. So first, I want to show you what you can do in portrait mode. So let's go ahead and activate air triggers first. So we'll just swipe down here on the top, open up our settings, go into advanced settings, and then scroll down to quick actions and tap on air triggers. Now make sure it's orange, make sure air triggers are turned on here. And when we tap on air triggers, we can see all of the options that we can now customize. So we can do, when the screen is off or locked, we can do a short squeeze or a long squeeze. And after we've unlocked the screen, we can have different shortcuts activate. So if you want, when your phone is off, you can do a short squeeze, open your camera, for example, which is really cool. And we can also set our force preference, which is how hard you need to squeeze the device before it'll activate. Let's go ahead and do a 2. Okay, and hit apply, and then done. And let's test out one of my favorites. So when the screen is off or locked, I like to make sure that Google Assistant is selected, and I use that as the shortcut that I like. So let's go ahead and test that out. So I will lock my device, and then let's do the squeeze here. And I can just feel that it activated, it gave me a little vibration. And there's my Google Assistant trying to help me out. So that's a really cool feature to have. Now, this is a gaming phone, so we've actually built this feature to work amazingly with games. So let's go ahead and open up one of our favorite Battle Royale games, Free Fire. All right, so the really cool thing about the air triggers is we can use them while we're gaming. So that's the biggest benefit, right? So we actually have 2 triggers here. So just like as if you were using a console controller, you can actually control this like so. Now let me show you how to set it up. We're gonna swipe and bring up Game Genie and tap on air triggers. And now you can see I've got a blue L1 and a red R1 button here. And when I tap on the right or left side, you can see which one is which. They're color coded. And all I need to do is make sure that those 2 buttons are lined up with buttons in the game. So let's go ahead and land here real quick. Okay, so now we're on the ground and we can see our controls over here on the right. And if I bring up Game Genie again, I can see that I've put L1. I can move this around, by the way, but you can see that I put L1 on my fire, so that's shoot. And then I've put my R1 button on jump. So let's test that in game now. You can see there's my jump, and there's my shoot, or fight in this case. So that's how air triggers work. I mean, really a phenomenal feature. The productivity shortcuts are cool enough, but being able to map those functions in games is like just using a controller without needing any accessory or controller at all. It's really an amazing feature and makes mobile gaming so much better having those extra inputs. So if you're interested in gaming and obviously you're gonna check out the ROG phone, definitely make sure you go into settings and set up your air triggers for a way better experience. So you're probably wondering, how does the magic happen? Well, we actually have clusters of sensors around the edge of the device. We've got 3 different clusters. So for portrait mode, we have one cluster here and another cluster here. And this means that when you're gripping the device normally, your palm and your fingers here will be right on top of both of those sensors. Now, as we showed before, when you're in games, you actually have one cluster of sensors here on the left, and we also use the same cluster here on the right that we use when you're gripping in portrait mode. And that gives you 3 different sensor clusters for portrait and landscape air triggers.